The following graph gives information about wind power global capacity. The items include years, gigawatts, a windmill, and clouds. You can see from this graph that the value of 1997 is around 7.6 gigawatts. What's more, in 1998 it is around 10 gigawatts, which is higher. According to this graph, in 2012 the number is around 283 gigawatts, the highest one. Finally, around 6.1 gigawatts occurs in 1996, and it is the lowest one. To sum up, the graph tells about wind power global capacity.
The following graph gives information about world population density. The items include Asia, Africa, America, and Europe. You can see from this graph that the values of Central Europe and some eastern areas of the United States are around 350 people per square kilometer. What's more, the population densities of coastal areas of North Africa, Southeast Asia, and Turkey are around 400, which are higher. Also, eastern China and India have around 700 people per square kilometer, the highest. Finally, the lowest densities are in Antarctic, northern Russia, and the inland area of Australia, around 0. To sum up, this graph tells about world population density.
The following graph gives information about instant coffee. The items include adding coffee beans, adding sugar, and stirring. You can see from this graph that the first step is adding coffee beans to a cup with a spoon and a tray. What's more, adding sugar from a sugar pack is the second step. Then, the third step is to stir the beans and sugar with the spoon. After that, you should add boiling water to the cup with a kettle. Finally, the instant coffee is completed. To sum up, this graph tells about how coffee is processed.
The following graph gives information about a fruit and vegetable market. The items include market stalls, products, traders, and customers. You can see bunches of bananas from this graph, which are yellow and piled next to green grapes on the stall. What's more, there is a woman standing in front of the stall, buying some green vegetables with a black plastic bag on the left arm. Also, many red and blue basins are put on electronic balances. To sum up this graph about a fruit and vegetable market,
The following graph gives information about different species' upper limbs. The items include human arm, seal limb, bird wing, and bat wing. You can see from this graph that in human, hand, wrist, and fingers are smaller than those in seal limb. What's more, in bird wing radius and ulna are thin and short. Also in bat wing, humerus is thinner than that in seal limb. Finally, in bat wing, there is a wing membrane connecting fingers. To sum up, this graph tells about upper arms of different species.
The following graph gives information about how the fruit scrapes come to customers. According to the graph, the first step is purple grapes ripening on the vine, followed by the second step, in which the grapes are loaded onto a truck and transported. After that, the grapes are conveyed on a conveyor belt. Then they are stowed into a brown paper box as its package. Finally, people load the grapes in a cart, and this means the grapes reach customers. To sum up, this graph tells about grape processing. Answer: the following graph gives information about the rainforest distribution in South America. According to this graph, the largest part of rainforest is in Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, Suriname, which is tropical rainforest, colored with light green. We can also see a narrow, long stretch of tropical rainforest lying along the eastern coast of South America, near Atlantic Ocean. And another stretch is located along the northwest coast of South America, next to Pacific Ocean. What's more, temperate rainforests in Chile, the southmost area of South America, are colored with dark green. To sum up, this map tells about rainforest in South America. The following line chart gives information of median pre-tax income by age and gender in the UK. According to the graph, in 3 lines the blue one is for male, the red one is for both, and the green one is for female. We can see male rises from 12,000 at under 20, reaches the highest point of 30,000 at 45 to 49, and falls to the lowest point of 18,000 at 70 to 74. What's more, female has the highest value of 21,000 at 30 to 34, and the lowest value of 15,000 at and over. Finally, both varies between the amounts of male and female. To sum up, female is lower than male in income. The following graph gives information about water cycle in nature. It shows how the process is done. The steps include evaporation, transportation, precipitation, and surface runoff. According to this graph, the first step is evaporation in the sun, with water forming clouds into the sky from the blue sea. Secondly, clouds transportation occurs above green and grey mountains, followed by the third step of precipitation, in which water forms surface runoffs. Finally, surface runoffs go to the sea. To sum up, this graph tells about water cycle in nature.